Yeah, we're approaching the point where things are going to get a bit less interesting nighttime-wise. I guess it will mean that we can go through... I mean... I don't know, I mean, not that going through the game faster is particularly a good thing, but, like, it'll mean that I'll be able to get through social links quicker because I won't have the videos lengthened by nighttime activities. But today, being Thursday... Okay, actually, today is somewhat of an important day. Yeah, I don't think those trees were like that before. Well... Let's just reassure her, and let's not remind her that the fourth movie in the Persona 3 movie series is called Winter of Rebirth, so kind of a bit of a spoiler that the fighting will continue till winter. I still love this song though. Huh. Well, yeah, that's kind of funny after what we did yesterday. Once again, Persona 4. So, there's really no reason to stay awake in class anymore now that we've maxed academics, but I'm gonna do it just to see the dialogue. I was about to say it's getting hit on by Gary Stu, but apparently it's this. When I first saw this, I'm really sorry, but when I saw personal hobbies, it really sounds like a euphemism for, doing stuff behind their husband's back. I'm sorry. And useless academics boost. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do stay awake in class most of the time, because I just want to see the dialogue. Some of it's pretty good. And there's kind of no reason to sleep in class, I just realized, because we're permanently in great status from nighttime. No, sorry. We're actually doing something, I mean, it's kind of mean to say, everyone's free to make their own decisions. I totally don't have angst over my fates-related things. But we actually get to see Nozomi here now. First time we're seeing this. Of course, the thing is, we are not going to see him again for a very long time. It's kind of a shame that means that we neglect moon personas for a long time, because some of those are kind of cool, but, yeah, I could have used Orochi earlier in the game. Orochi's actually pretty decent. I was just a little below its level before the Night of the Wind, which would have been really helpful, because Orochi is immune to wind. So when I first saw this, I was like, wait a minute, are we going to get a second, like, class question? But no, it's the exact opposite. Oh, of course, cleaning. So, we're going to be having a bit of an event today. This is actually kind of a cool one. I like this for a few reasons. I'll explain once we get there, which is going to be right now, actually. And this is also one of the first times we get to see the science room. So, I think this scene actually does change slightly depending on what the heck is Kaz doing with his arm there. I'm just noticing that. Anyway, this scene does change based on social links a bit. So yeah, I wonder if you went to the music or art club, this would be different. I'm actually not sure, because, again, I always chose photography. Huh. So what I like about this is that this is one of the very few times in the game that you actually get to see the social link characters interacting with each other. Like characters from separate social links interacting. Oh, I hope Garisu doesn't have a rival for Yukari, otherwise that could end very badly for said rival. So, yeah, Junpei and I guess are here too, so... And look, it's gonna be a meeting of the magicians. What's the popping stuff? Yes, referring to bubble wrap as popping stuff, that's, pretty much says that you have a lot of free time on your hands and are very bored, and yeah. I mean, I admit that when I was a lot younger, I would pop bubble wrap as well, but anyway. It's like when two Magician Arcana characters are in the same room, there's some kind of bad luck singularity that is created. And that came back. I was just trying to read the Japanese characters on that. I found a tear, but that was all I could find. Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to say the Nade competition, but then I realized you'd only be interested in that if teachers were involved. Like, if you invited Junpei into a comedy event, he'd probably just have to just be himself and not prepare anything, because, yeah, that's all you would need. Not sure how well Kaz would do in one. So, you get the option to do this, and yeah, let's go, bring it on! Garisu will now show that comedy is one of the other many things that he is perfect at in every way. Yes, he immediately made everyone laugh, so yes, he is perfect in every way. Some of these responses actually kind of make a lot of sense if you know how Japanese Manzai duos work. So Kenji seems to be playing the, I know what the roles are, I'm pretty sure that Boke is the dumb one, and that Tsukomi is the one who constantly gets angry at them for being dumb. I mean, admittedly, that actually kind of makes sense. Watch silently. Let's just continue this. Wow, you know about him? That's pretty awesome. And I love how the part that people laugh at is just the mention of the chairman. Everyone just knows how bad his jokes are. Then they all laugh at him. Okay, so this one's kind of like, we could go the chairman route here. I personally like this one. Just like being deadpan. I love it when jokes get completely derailed into just suddenly just talking about just turning into a random conversation and realizing, wait a minute, this isn't a joke anymore. And then suddenly it does become a joke because it's funny because it totally fails at being funny, and then humor is weird. And that was, I don't think that was actually the gourmet king. Look kind of similar, but yeah. And of course, bringing that up. Yeah, well, Garistu's very disappointed. Careful there. If you insinuate that Kaz likes Yukari, Garistu might have to do some drastic measures. I see it, for some reason, I see this part of the game quoted a lot. Junpei dreaming about. Well, then again, Junpei only dreams about one girl at this point. This is actually a pretty good scene. Ah. And here's where things get really awkward. So, remember how I said that I think this scene changes based on social links? I'm not 100% sure, but what's about to happen might only happen if, you'll see. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, that. And also something else important happened, but I just can't remember. Yeah, he's fine. He's been sleeping every night and getting great status. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Oh, this is bad. This is very, very bad. This is the exact situation that Gary Sue was trying to avoid for a very long time. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The atmosphere is heavy for some reason. Uh-oh. And then everyone is... Uh-oh. Yes, everyone, go look at that distraction right now. Yes, go tell them about the huge distracting thing. It's a huge distracting thing, don't question it. Admittedly, though, Aigis is the one person you probably should be getting out of here first, because, yeah, she has been reprogrammed to be totally devoted to him, and she has weapons. And so, Gary Stu dodged a bullet, and yes, that scene always happens the same way regardless of anything, but yeah. Apparently a lot of people saw that, and they thought that this scene actually would have ended up reversing a bunch of links, but it does not. Then again, Gary Stu is so perfect in every way, he could probably go with everyone and avoid getting mauled somehow. So yeah, that scene. It's kind of just an irrelevant comedy scene, but I actually kind of like it. Like, again, you get to see all those social link characters interact with other social link characters, and you don't see that often. Anyway, what are you saying? Okay. Well, I mean, considering this school is, well, used to be a place where they experimented on shadows, it must be pretty durable. And Junpei's here too. We're fine now. Yeah. You would have a very hard time because you're all AI controlled and you would all be idiots and everyone would die. Now, the social link that I need to do today is in that classroom, but I'm going to go ahead and talk to some people because some people have new dialogue here. Yeah, you were, well, I mean, a lot of people were looking forward to the maid costumes, but I'm kind of surprised that you were. And then her. Well, at least she's not being yandere anymore. Well, not anymore. She'll probably go back to it soon. Yes, be tsundere towards the typhoon. That'll stop it. So, yeah, if you want to see a culture festival, you're going to have to go to a mysterious labyrinth that's totally based off of one. But I mean, it's not like we did anything like that while we were out or anything like that. No, no way that happened to us. There's a few new things people are saying here. Card game for cell phones. I actually don't know if he's said that before, but it just reminds me of... there's this thing, apparently, I hope that people have forgotten about it, called Valkyria Chronicles D, which is like taking a pretty amazing strategy RPG and turning it into a freemium mobile card game where the main draw is seeing girls in bikinis. How far game franchises fall sometimes. Anyway, though. So that probably refers to the persimmon fruit that we got out of that social link. But anyway, the tree is still here for now. And that's all that I wanted to do, but just wanted to talk to a few people here, because they have various reactions about the Culture Festival. You know, now that I think about it, okay, so sorry for holding off on the social link for now, but I want to see if the stalking couple is still here. I did check down near the nurse's office and nothing's new there, but the stalking couple may still be here. On the outside of the school. Now we get to hear more of Changing Seasons. So, don't know if I've mentioned this before, but the random French phrases that are said a lot here. Ah, okay. Observatory. I don't even know if you ever actually go there. Okay, you're not saying anything new. But anyway, those French phrases are all basically French proverbs. One of them translates as literally something like, everyone finds shoes for their feet, which I think is the well, I mean, I actually kind of know because I remember looking it up a while ago, which is the French equivalent of every clown has a silver lining. Don't know if something tells me that I've actually mentioned that before. But anyway, what we're doing today is, it's completely fitting that right after that scene that involved Kenji a lot, we are right now going to be maxing out Kenji's social link. And we already have a magician persona, but yeah, no matching persona required for this one. We've already maxed this. So, let's meet with Kenji. This is going to be a bit of a blast from the past, because this was our first social link that we ever started. Well, I mean, not exactly when we started it was totally forced on us, but, and it is ending the same way that it began, at Hagakure. I think this was exactly the same line that was said at the very beginning. I could be wrong, though. I wonder if he's over it by now or not. Every time I see this, I mentally add all alone. Being a rank 10, it doesn't matter what you say here, but let's try and strike up a conversation. Huh. Yeah, I remember that was kind of like the first time that we met, he'd say stuff like that about his favourite TV show. Well, I suppose we could try and hook him up with someone. Huh. Who is one of the few girls in this entire game who is not a target of Gary Stu? Yeah, no, don't crash at his place. All the girls there are already on his list. Yeah. Well... it's a pretty simple thing to say, but it fits after all that's happened. So, this is our max social link item for this one. And with that... actually, didn't say your relationship is stronger now this time. Yet another social link max. We're really getting a lot of them this week. Yes, we have maxed out the Magician's social link, and we can now create Cert, Lord of Fire. Cert, sometimes spelled with a silent R on the end, is a Jotun of fire in Norse mythology, and the ruler of Muspelheim, the realm of fire. He wields the sword of fire and light, Levatine, which is said to be brighter than the sun. It's said that he'll fight with the god Frey at Ragnarok, and that his flames will consume the world, letting it be reborn anew. So, as you can probably guess, Cert in gameplay is all about fire. Draining fire using powerful fire spells, skills that boost fire attacks, creating items that have to do with fire, inheriting fire skills. Yeah, fire, more fire, basically. And this is actually the main reason why I really like Cert as a persona. It's actually one of my favorites. It's because there's no real serious fire damage dealer in the party. Both Junpei and Koromaru, the party's fire specialists, neither of them really has a particularly great magic stat. For them, fire is more a means of knocking enemies down rather than actually doing damage, and so it falls to the protagonist to actually be an offensive force with fire magic. Cert really delivers in that area. Having the most powerful fire spells, a massively high magic stat, and an even more powerful fire spell, which I'll talk about later, and access to both Fire Boost and Fire Amp, which stack with each other, by the way, so having both of them on the same moveset is a good idea. In general, if you want to not just knock down, but utterly obliterate enemies weak to fire until only ashes remain, then Cert is the persona for you. Oh, and there's also Deathbound. Deathbound's actually not a bad move. It's still pretty awesome, it's just that, well, I mainly want to focus on the fire stuff, because that's really the main thing Cert does. So the big one that I want to talk about here is that skill that I've highlighted in red, Ragnarok. This is the first instance, well, not technically first, since I've since learned that Fist Master is actually exclusive to Melchizedek, but anyway, this is the first instance that I've mentioned of a signature move on a persona. These are pretty much what you'd expect, a move that's only learned by one persona in the entire game. Now, in later Persona games, these were outright set-in-stone signature moves. They could not be passed on through fusion, they were exclusive to the persona who learned them, which was a pretty nice system and gave you a reason to keep those personas around. In Persona 3, however, signature moves can be passed down via fusion, and because of that, it's actually probably more beneficial to use this skill on a persona that's not Cert, that has no weaknesses, or possibly has the Spellmaster skill, which I'll cover later once we get personas with that skill. It's really good, take my word for it. But anyway, this signature move is, like you'd expect, Ragnarok, the strongest damaging fire spell in the game, having a power rating of 650. For comparison, Argidyne is 320. It's also very slightly more accurate than Argidyne, but that's not really that much of a big deal. Basically, this move is one of the few severe tier damaging spells. Now, a lot of people consider these moves to be a little bit awesome but impractical, to quote TV tropes, since they do cost a pretty large amount of SP. Ragnarok costs 30 SP, which is slightly more expensive than casting Argidyne twice. Though its power is stronger than 2 castings of Argidyne, so it actually might be worth it. It doesn't have any status effect associated with it though. Basically, this is a massive nuke, doing insane damage, especially if you've powered up with Mind Charge first. So it can be a pretty good move to have. Like I said before though, this can be passed on via fusion, so if you don't like Cert's weakness to ice, you can actually get this on a different persona. In addition to all of its powerful skills, Cert also has 2 specific items associated with it. The first is its heart item, Blazing Flame, which makes the holder immune to fire attacks. Now, as I've alluded to before, Fire Break can get around this, so be careful of enemies with that skill. However, getting this heart item is certainly really useful for Mitsuru. Once you get this, you probably want to have it equipped on her as much as possible. The second item is Levatine. the legendary sword from Surt's mythology. This is obtained by fusing Surt with any Nile weapon, and it's similar to the Gaybolg that we got earlier in the playthrough. It's a reasonably powerful two-handed sword that deals fire damage instead of slash. So it has all the strengths and weaknesses that the Gaybolg has. Basically, you won't be able to hurt enemies with your physical attacks if they're immune to fire. Oh, and the weapon itself also comes with the fire boost skill attached to it. It can be a pretty decent weapon to get for Junpei once you have access to it, as it's the strongest weapon he'll have for a while. It's not the strongest two-handed sword in the game, though. Overall, Surt is pretty simple. If you want to deal massive fire damage, this is the persona for you. And like I said, I really like this because both of the fire specialists in the party aren't that great at magical damage dealing, so it falls to the protagonist and his personas, mainly this one, to pick up the slack. And yeah, that's another link that is over. A lot of people find Kenji to be one of the more boring social links in this game. It doesn't help that his replacement in Portable is Junpei.
Hello.
I don't know. I think Ken's already pretty strong. But yeah, I'm actually alright with Kenji. I think his link is pretty decent overall. Well, yeah. More bad news, obviously. And here we see one of the really darker sides of apathy syndrome. Yeah. We really need to stop this as soon as we can. No reason, really. ... 5 Cyclops appear. Oh yeah, that makes more sense if you actually talk to her first, so everyone has some different dialogue here. Well, unfortunately that's kind of the thing with the news, it tends to always be bad. Well, I mean, I actually know, and I've said it before, that the next shadow is level 46, so actually weaker than the sleeping table. We're doing alright. Well, that was the most positive option we had to say. Well, yeah, you didn't see that recording. Huh. In some ways, it's actually kind of... Well, actually, in some ways, it's all three. Today, though, actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure that we have a walk event with Shinjiro tonight, now that we saw that movie. But first, I'm going to go ahead and save, since it's been a little while before I did, and since we last saved, I have, if you look here, Magician is now maxed out, Hierophant is maxed out. If we go down to the bottom, Devil is maxed out. So, we have made some really good progress, so gonna just go ahead and save now. So, being a Thursday, time to go and see the monk, and yeah, now that we've done Devil, basically we're free to see him pretty much every day he's available, but yeah, just the sad thing is, this is the last nighttime activity that we have left to do. Once we've maxed out Tower, we really have nothing to do in our evenings except the arcade. Like, we are literally done with everything that we need to do in the nighttime, which is, again, like I said, kind of a shame, but will mean that at least, I guess, the videos will go faster because we can skip through night times more often. Anyway, let's talk to Mutatsu. Don't know if we're going to actually get a rank up this time or not. And if we do, we'll need quite a few spend times next time. Okay, so music changed. This actually is a rank up. Oh, and it looks like he's been drinking even more than usual, which is really saying something. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. This is worse than I thought. Much worse than I thought. Here you can say anything except I was studying. This one's pretty appropriate for Garisu, though. Huh, but was Mutatsu a player in his younger days, too? Guess that implies that. And now he's realizing. Pretty sure Mutatsu's worried about his son, too. That would be another rank up for Tower. We're finally starting to understand him a lot better. This is level 8. We're almost done with this. Huh. Here you can say any option. They're both pretty much the same thing anyway. But we're about to learn, I suppose, why this guy represents the Tower Arcana. Yeah. So now we know why he comes here to drink every night. He's running away. If he really wants to see them, though, it's never too late. There's still time for him to patch things up. And so, tonight we have a phone call to take, and it is not Bebe, I'm so sorry. Should be this one, though. Yes, this phone call with Fuka. We are accepting this. We absolutely need to. And we need a matching priestess persona for that Sunday hangout. So let's accept it. And once again, still so weird that they don't actually, yeah, come, you know, to your room directly because you're living in the same place.